As a responsible pet owner, one of the most important decisions you'll make is whether to spay or neuter your dog.
Excuse me, what you say?
Spaying and neutering are common procedures performed on dogs for a variety of reasons, including population control and health and behavioral improvements. Welcome back to another Native Pet video. I'm Dr. Juli, and this is my friend Kokoro. If you're watching this video, you may be a new pet parent and wondering when's the best time to spay and neuter your dog, and what are the pros and cons of doing that. Spaying and neutering is a surgical procedure performed by a licensed veterinarian to sterilize dogs. One of the main reasons is common practice is to prevent overpopulation and keep dogs out of the shelter. And the unfortunate reality of overcrowding in shelters is that perfectly healthy dogs end up being put down. There are a variety of factors to consider when you're talking about the timing of spaying or neutering your dog. For instance, your lifestyle, how many dogs you may have at home, what sex or breed they are, what your living situation is. And of course, you need to take into consideration the potential health and behavioral implications for your dog. When it comes to the health of the dog, there have been proven benefits of spaying or neutering. For female dogs, spaying eliminates the chances of getting uterine infections, also known as a pyometra. It also eliminates ovarian cancer, and it decreases the risk of getting mammary tumors. For male dogs, neutering eliminates the risk of testicular cancer and reduces the chances of them having prostate problems later in life. There are some other health implications to take into consideration, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. Some pet parents may encounter some difficulty with training or some undesirable behaviors as their dog starts to reach sexual maturity, which is around 6 months old. This is often associated with an increase of reproductive hormones. And you might start to see things like marking, mounting, or aggression towards other dogs or people. Studies have shown that altered dogs are 80% less likely to show this undesirable behaviors. But it's important to note that spaying and neutering is not a magic fix for these types of behavioral issues. Any behavior can continue to be reinforced and then become a habit over time if it's left unchecked. In many cases, neutered males may still exhibit this behavior in the weeks following their procedure as their hormones begin to reduce. It may feel like a balancing act when it comes to figuring out the best time to spay or neuter your dog, but you also need to take into consideration their breed and their growth rate. Larger breed dogs take longer to reach their full size and for their growth plates to close completely. For example, Kokoro here, who's 20 pounds at her full adult size, her growth plates probably close between the time of 6 months and 12 months of age. Kibo here is an 85-pound Swiss Shepherd, and his growth plates probably close between 18 and 24 months. Looking at the size difference, it's important to note that they don't grow at the same rate, so you wouldn't necessarily want to spay or neuter them at the same age. Some research has shown that spaying or neutering early and the removal of reproductive hormones can potentially be associated with an increased risk of orthopedic problems like hip dysplasia or cruciate ligament tears. We've also seen that some breeds have an increased risk of cancer if they're spayed or neutered within their first year of life. Reproductive hormones play a critical role in the overall development and maturation of dogs. The absence of these hormones during crucial growth periods can lead to alterations in body composition. It can cause increased risk of certain diseases and potential behavior changes. Because of evolving research, veterinarians are now taking a more individualized approach on the timing of when to spay or neuter. And don't be afraid to ask your vet the potential pros and cons of spaying or neutering your dog at a certain age. Once you've made the decision on when to sterilize your pet, the next step is prepping for pre and post surgery. So prior to your dog's procedure, your veterinarian will likely want to run some blood work and make sure their organs can properly function and process the anesthetic agents. And they're generally just in the hospital for the day, so you need to be prepared in the evening for your dog's post-op care. Once you take your dog home, you have to keep in mind that they just went through a pretty involved procedure, so it's important to make sure they're kept calm and quiet and have time to rest and recover. You want to make sure that they have a clean and comfy environment at home, and you also want to restrict any physical activity so you don't disrupt the surgical site. Following your dog's surgery, they'll probably need to wear a cone, and this is to prevent them from licking the surgical site and causing any infection or problems. The general recovery time for a spay or neuter is about 2 weeks, so you'll want to make sure that you keep your dog calm and limit their activity during that time. Your vet will provide you with a detailed aftercare instruction sheet, and this will include any medications you may need to give your dog in the days following their surgery. While the healing time is about 2 weeks, most dogs will feel back to their old self in just a day or two after their surgery, so it's important to keep them calm during this time, and this is where a supplement like Native Pet's Calm Chews could come in handy. If they're too active, this could cause issues with their incision site and delayed healing. And the challenging part about this is most of these dogs are very young and energetic. You could try giving them something like Native Pet's Yak Chews to keep them mentally stimulated. Short leash walks are okay in the weeks following your dog's procedure so that they can use the bathroom and get some air outside. But you want to make sure your dog isn't running, jumping, or playing, especially with other pets. While there are benefits to spaying or neutering, recent research has shown there could be some risks to doing it too early. It's important to have open conversations with your veterinarian. Make sure to consider the individual needs and characteristics of your dog to make the best decision regarding spaying or neutering. In educating yourself, pet parents are more able to prioritize the health and care of their dogs. There's a lot of factors to take into consideration, but it's still possible to prioritize long-term health and address any concerns related to early spay or neutering. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and check out our other videos on tips for your pet's health. We'll see you next time.